The final minutes of a person's life. Aching joints and gray hairs from a life spent helping their community. Eyes donned with glasses from their old age. Surrounded by loved ones they have wreathed themselves with over their relatively long, prosperous life. They take their final breath and pass peacefully into the great unknown. Fucking lame, am I right? Well, lucky for the both of us, a lot of people with some pretty big brains in their skulls think the exact same thing. That old age blows. Now, learning how not to die has been a little hobby of humanity ever since we first started banging rocks together. Around here, we have fires so don't freeze to death. Somewhere around here, we have medicine like penicillin to survive basic illnesses. Somewhere around here, we have Chegg for obvious reasons. And right around here at the very end, do we have a basket of projects that make the whole timeline here completely obsolete. I'm talking mice. I'm talking proteins. I'm talking things that a silly little word called ethics won't stop getting in the way of. That's right. I'm talking modern day immortality. I know that all of you have heard of stem cells before. Little default cells that are major people pleasers and will do anything to be like their friends. Super useful to have a lot of, keeps us healthy, good, cool. On the other end of the spectrum, there are a group called senescent cells. You can think of these like a deadbeat uncle who doesn't do anything but mooch off your dad and won't leave. Right, Keith? So all cells lose a little bits of their chromosomes whenever they duplicate. To make sure they don't immediately create an effective cell, they have these little empty bits called telomeres that act something like a DNA sacrifice to keep it normal. Only problem with this is that the new cell now has shorter telomeres. Going way down the line, senescent cells have been duplicated so many times they no longer have telomeres at all and start taking pieces out of the chromosomes instead. Big issue. This causes them not to, among other issues, create nearly enough of a suicide protein that causes them to naturally die. This makes them just stick around and cause harm. Most old people diseases you think of are actually linked to them. So, you have cute little baby cells and old gross Keith cells. How do you min-max these two, you ask? Well, start shoveling needles into body parts, scientists respond. Yeah, so far it's actually worked out. But James, you ask, where are we supposed to get stem cells from if we can't create enough ourselves? Well, interested viewer, the answer is simple. Harness your inner boomer and take it from the younger generations. By stealing stem cells from baby mice and injecting them into adult mice, a group of scientists were able to prove that a simple transplant can be extremely beneficial to older mice, with overall increased health in both their bodies and their brains. To fix the second issue, mice were injected with that missing protein I talked about earlier that's actually called NAD+. Doing this killed the majority of the senescent cells and resulted in them being much healthier overall. And the really important bit, through these two treatments, two large issues brought on by old age were actually shown to be reversible, those being glaucoma and poor reproductive ability. So, we've got a tested and proven method of reversing some major effects of aging. Whoop-de-doo. But this isn't some old, scientists found the cured cancer reveal that's been done a million times over the past 40 years. This research was done in 2020. Lots of room for discovery, lots of room for growth. Looking at you, bio students. But James, I'm not a bio student. I can't help. Shut up, I'm getting there. If bio ain't up your alley, why not go down the computer path instead? That's right, all you CS students and whoever else is working the path of technology, there's been immortality progress made in your area too. There's been lots of work to scan a human brain its entirely and simulate it on a computer. Actually, if your brain's on a computer, it's not really you. That would be a break in consciousness, making a different entity. Shoo! Get out of here, philosophy buffs. Shoo! Yes, at the moment, if you want your brain scanned, you have to die first. Might be a problem for some, I'm sure. Due to current technology, the only way to get a high enough quality scan to see the neuron connections in a brain is to actually slice it really thin and then use an electron microscope. Even with the ability, the most that's ever been done has been a 1 centimeter cube of brain due to not only the labor involved, but also the storage capacity of modern computers. But the theory is there, and that's what counts. Showing that we have the ability to scan a brain down to its smallest components and put it in a computer is for sure the next step. A full simulation is for sure the next. Technology is going to have to catch up to curiosity for this to come to life, but I think with how fast computers have advanced over the past 20 years, that we're looking isn't too far off. Cells, proteins, scans, simulations, just a few ways that we're trying to live forever that have actually shown some true promise. The real question is, with the next discovery being so close to the future, why not just aim to go get it first? You could be the first person to take your fair share of endless time.